All right, welcome back to Encouragement with Elizabeth. Today I'm here with my sweet teen, Breckyn.
Hi.
She is my Miss Richardson'S teen with the Miss America organization and the Miss Texas organization. So Breckyn, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, a little intro for us.
So, hi, my name is Breckyn Steele. I am in 8th grade. I'm 14 years old. My platform is called Alphabet Soup, and it's about dyslexia awareness. And I'm also a competitive baton twirler.
Slay, yeah. I mean, I know she sounds like literally like 30, but she's 14, literally still in middle school. It's crazy. But her platform is dyslexia. Like she said, it's called Alphabet Soup. So talk a little bit about what first got you interested into the topic of dyslexia.
So I am dyslexic, and how I really just started my topic was because of my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
When he was diagnosed with dyslexia, some of the things that my mom realized that he was struggling with were the exact same things I was struggling with.
She's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This feels familiar.
So she wanted to get me tested, and I am dyslexic. And ever since I really got tested, I've seen a big change in everything. Like just my personality and being able to be more just myself. And before I got tested, I don't know what the difference is, to be honest, but I was really quiet and shy, and I never really wanted to talk to anyone. But I do think through doing pageants, it's really opened me up, and I'm able to just be more confident about myself and about everything that I do.
Yeah.
And after that, I saw a change really in my grades. I had all A's after I got diagnosed.
You got the help you needed.
Yes, I got the help I needed with my dyslexia classes, which is why it's so important to be able to get kids tested.
So true. And it's also cool because actually the mayor of Richardson is also dyslexic.
Yes,
so it's also cool to see like people who are in positions of power and have been successful.
1 in 5 people are dyslexic.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're like, they're successful. I can be successful.
They might not even know it, but they could get tested and maybe like get the dyslexic help that they need, and they would be just like a huge change in everything.
Yeah, you're like, your life could be transformed. Okay, so talk a little bit about your specific experience with dyslexia before your diagnosis, and then like the signs that prompted you to get tested, kind of like you talked about with your mom.
Yes. So before I got tested, it was a struggle for reading especially, but pretty much every other subject, since I did pretty good at math, but when it came to like reading problems in math, I could not do that.
Yeah.
It was too many words. I didn't want to read it. It was too long.
Okay.
So it was just like crazy. Like especially with the word alphabet soup, all the letters are just mixed up, and you just really don't understand what is going on.
Yeah. That I can't even imagine. I'm glad I've never had to experience that, but I'm also glad that you've been able to get help.
Yes, and that's why it's so important to get tested.
Yes, so true. What has been the most difficult part about learning and going to school with dyslexia?
So, I've never experienced this, but a lot of kids have bullying problems when it comes to being dyslexic, because actually my Lone Star Princess, she isn't dyslexic, but she has dyscalculia, which is like the math version of dyslexia with numbers. And she's experienced some of that at her school just because she has something where her brain works a little bit different. People think that she's not smart. Yeah. And people think she can't do this because she has that. And that's the complete opposite reason. Yeah. Like, one of the smartest men in the world, Albert Einstein, was dyslexic.
Exactly. Yeah, it has nothing to do with intelligence. It has
nothing to do with intelligence. It's just so important to get tested so that they can guide you and rewire your brain so that you are able to understand more things.
I love that. Okay, what was the most shocking thing you found out by researching dyslexia and doing all your dyslexia advocacy?
So, before I wanted dyslexia to be about
your platform.
My platform. They don't really call it platform. It's like, they've changed that so many times. Before I wanted dyslexia to, before I even decided I wanted dyslexia to be that, I was diagnosed. And I didn't really know that much about dyslexia. But once I decided I wanted that to be my platform, I learned so many new things about it. Like, 1 in 5 people are dyslexic, so that's like really common.
Right.
And I learned
20%.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and there's other kinds of, I don't want to say dyslexia, it's just like different kinds. Like there's a writing, a speaking, and a math that all work almost in the same way, but they're just different. They're other than reading.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like crazy how much like new stuff you can learn just by looking up the word dyslexia.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, so what are your future plans regarding dyslexia awareness?
So far, I have already donated over 100 books, or it might be over 200 now.
You're like, I gotta recalculate
I
that.
gotta recalculate that. And I just want to be able to go to as many schools as I can and just talk about dyslexia, or libraries and donate, like, dyslexic books that have dyslexic characters in them.
I love that.
And I've actually already talked to, not a library, but I've talked to a school that came to the Richardson's library, and they were all dyslexic kids. And I was able to be able to connect with them and just at like a question and answer Q&A with them and me. And it was just so much fun being able to connect and talk to these kids.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, what is the easiest way for someone unfamiliar with dyslexia to help out in their community?
So, dyslexia, if you aren't really familiar with it, I would request looking it up, because all you have to do is really look up the word, and you can find so much information.
So many resources, yeah.
And if you look up the IDA, it can also help with any kinds of learning differences that involve reading.
So what's the IDA?
It is the International Dyslexia Association.
Okay.
I am partnered with the Dallas branch.
Cool. Okay, fun.
So I've been to like a lot of their meetings, and they really just talk about reading differences and not just dyslexia in general, like everything.
I love that. Yeah.
Everything.
All encompassing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you really want to be able to know more about it, I would suggest just looking them up, or and once you find out what it really is, just being able to really get in the inner circle of the dyslexic kid or person that you are wanting to help, and ask them questions on what they don't see and what's I don't want to say wrong, but what is struggling, what they struggle with, and find like fun ways. Like what helped me is Connect 4. We literally put like little words on the little circles, and we would try to connect 4, and it would be a sentence.
Cool.
And it's actually funny because we still have that game at our house.
Genius. Yeah.
Yes, and the IDA actually, one of the partners that they have a fun little game, like little like boxes, like fun games that they have for children, and not just really children, like anyone in general, that helps with reading and connecting sentences and everything, just for dyslexia.
That's so cool. I didn't even know that existed. Okay, last question. If you could give one piece of advice to someone just diagnosed with dyslexia, what would it be?
It would probably be to really stand up for yourself, because when I first got diagnosed, you know how shy I was. I didn't want to ask questions or really do anything like that, and I was just like, I never asked for help. Yeah. And it's really important to ask for help, because if you don't ask for help, you won't get the help you really need, and you won't be able to, like, you might not be able to get diagnosed with dyslexia if you don't, like, say what you're struggling with, or acknowledge, or tell your teacher or a trusted adult what you're struggling with. Yeah. And it's really important to be able to ask for help so you get the help that you need for that. Yeah, it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's just, it's something that 1 in 5 people deal with. Yeah. 20% of people, like, have this, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much, Breckyn. I mean, y'all can tell she's super smart and crazy mature. I wish I was like her when I was 14. Not fair. But thank you so much for coming and talking about dyslexia awareness, and I will see you guys next time.